With Leah Sarich now. Good morning, Leah. You're at the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society today.
I sure am this morning. We are wrapping up Volunteer Week here in Calgary, so this was our final location today. I have JP with me this morning from Volunteer Calgary. We have been at so many amazing locations all this week, really highlighting how many opportunities there are for volunteers in the city.
Definitely there are. Actually, over at Volunteer Calgary, we have over 500 organizations that are members of us, so nonprofit organizations. So with that actually comes over 1,000 volunteer opportunities, and I see that growing in the next couple months, especially as festival season hits, and everything else in terms of outdoor volunteering. So there's many opportunities for volunteering throughout the summer.
And you can really design your volunteering to sort of what you want to do and what your interests are, can't you?
Absolutely. Within the nonprofit sector, and this is what I love about the nonprofit sector that makes me passionate about it, is that you do have the ability to do what you want, especially if you have a vision and there is something some way that you want to contribute to the community. You definitely can do that with many of our nonprofit organizations. So I really encourage people to visit our website at Volunteer Calgary, because we have all those postings and the ability to get your foot in the door with nonprofit organizations if you're looking for work experience as well.
Wonderful. And let's remember that a lot of these organizations simply couldn't function without the help of the volunteers. So that role is really critical to a lot of these organizations, isn't it?
Absolutely. In some cases, actually, I see that some organizations will have one employee and everyone else will be a volunteer. So I've actually seen it where there is a chief financial officer of an organization who is a volunteer. At Volunteer Calgary, our director of IT, as a matter of fact, is a volunteer. So and we managed to roll with the punches and still have a great IT infrastructure. So
lots of opportunities here in the city to lend a helping hand for sure. JP, thank you so much. Yeah, that's just, it's been so much fun all week long to find out about these organizations. So coming up, we're going to learn a little bit more about what they do here at CCIS, guys.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Leah. We've been celebrating National Volunteer Week this week. Leah has been checking out some very cool organizations all week long, right, Leah?
I sure have, and so many of them I didn't even know about before, which have these wonderful opportunities for volunteers, and that really couldn't function without the help of those volunteers. So with me this morning, we have the Executive Director of CCIS, the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society. Farrah Morris, tell me just a little bit about what you do here for the immigrant population.
Currently I work as the Executive Director of Calgary Catholic Immigration Society. Actually, 25 years ago, I started as a volunteer with the organization, wow. So that's where I'm now. Calgary Catholic Immigration Society, actually, we are mandated to help newcomers, immigrant, refugees, that they come to our city. Wonderful. Every year about 25,000 people choose to come and be part of this great city, so we are here to help them to settle. It's not an easy process. People come, leave everything behind, and they come here dealing with the new language, the new culture, new challenges, and with the help of volunteers, that's what we have been doing. We have about 1,600 volunteers that are helping in our work.
1,600 volunteers. That is amazing. So really, you wouldn't be able to function without your volunteers.
Oh, definitely. I think Calgary being a capital of the volunteerism in Canada, I think what they do is amazing. You just imagine we have high-need people coming, that they have long number of children that they need to get connected to the community. It's not an easy process for them, and our volunteers, that's where they come in, and they just do the important work of part of our work, because they continue working with them. They become family friend, they become mentor. They come and have English conversation in our classes. They have a coffee conversation. So in every aspect of what we do, we utilize volunteers.
Wonderful. And we're just outside of your relatively new location. Yes. You've only been here for a couple of years, but we wanted to highlight where they are in the city. So they're just in the Beltline. They're really close. They have a wonderful space here, particularly for families. And as you mentioned, that's a really tricky subject, isn't it, when they come with children?
I think that's what we have tried to create, a center of excellence for settlement integration. So what you said, we have basically a toilet and library in this facility that actually is functioned and operated by volunteers. We have a daycare, we have a lot of ESL classes, a lot of other services, because we're really trying to expedite the process of settling and connecting to the community. And that can only happen, we can only do so much, but the community has to get engaged, and I think Calgary is really a success story. The number of volunteering with the different organizations, including Calgary Catholic Immigration Society, is very impressive, and I think we're very, very happy to have all those volunteers.
Wonderful. Farrah Morris, thank you so much. When we come back, Jill, we're actually going to find out what's going on inside and just show you how beautiful it is in there, particularly for these new families to Calgary.
Good stuff. Great opportunities for volunteers out there as
Mike,
well.
we're going to check in with Leah Sarich right now. Leah's hanging out of the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society. And Leah, you found somebody who started as a volunteer and now works there.
Exactly, and he immigrated from Pakistan. This is a pretty amazing story, so we'll get right to it. So this is Nuruddin. Nuruddin, you immigrated to Calgary from Pakistan when?
Calgary, I immigrated in 2008.
Wow.
And I came from Pakistan and for better life, for better future, and I have a quality of life for myself, my family, my kids. So here I am in Calgary.
Wonderful. And why did you choose Canada? What was so special? I mean, I'm assuming you probably could have gone anywhere.
Well, Canada is a very highly diverse country, value diversity and give very values to immigrants, newcomers, new talent. So Canada value transferable skills and everything. So I thought that Canada will be the best opportunity to come here for my family, for my kid, and to have a good future over here.
Wonderful. So you actually came in contact with the Calgary Immigration Society when you first got here, and then you started out as a volunteer. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the association with CCIS is not new for me. I mean, I came in 2008 as a new person. I didn't knew what about of Canada, of Calgary, and there was culture shock as well. So I became a client over here, learned how to write resume right from the scratch, and learn how to write resumes and learn new techniques, how to integrate with the Canadian culture and the society. So after getting, I got lots of success. Basically, back home, I was in HR, human resources. I came to Canada, switched my career, and did my certified management accountancy. So now here I am in Canada. So CCIS helped me to build my foundation, how to integrate into Canadian values, Canadian cultures, Canadian society. Yeah.
Wow. And then here you are now, and now you work for CCIS. Why was it important to you to work here?
Well, I started as a volunteer, and my prime reason for volunteer was to give back to community and learn some new skills. Learn new skills, meet new people, integrate with the culture more actively. So by voluntary, I think so is the best opportunity to you come and contribute towards the community, enter in the organization, have Canadian experience, and meet new people over here. So once I was in a volunteer as in the finance department, I worked with 4 qualified people over here. I learned a lot of things, and the opportunity came up. And then I applied, and then I'm a staff member over here.
Wonderful.
So it's starting from the scratch. I'm the financial administrator over here.
Wonderful. Nuruddin, thank you so much for sharing your story. An amazing story. And when we come back, we're actually going to speak to one of the volunteer coordinators here who actually gets everybody involved and makes this place work. Guys?
Check in with Leah Sarich. Hey, Leah.
Hey guys, yes, we are here at the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society this morning, and we're talking about volunteering, of course, because we're wrapping up our Volunteer Week special, and we want to talk specifically about what volunteer opportunities they have here at CCIS. Lily and Patricia are with me right now, and Lily, tell me just a little bit about what people can do specifically to help CCIS out.
So at CCIS, we really have a range of different programs. So whether you're a senior who's looking for activities just to get involved in the community, or if you're a professional who wants to contribute your skills to help a new immigrant who's in your field, or if you are a youth who's looking to build your volunteer experience, or you want to work with youth, or if you want to work with immigrant youth, or anyone who just wants to provide friendship to a newcomer family.
Because that's really a nice opportunity, isn't it, really? Because a lot of these families, they don't know anybody, and they're just learning how things work here in Canada, and it might be nice just to sit and have coffee with someone sometimes.
Yes, for sure. So we have conversation cafes where we would sometimes meet up in a coffee shop just to talk and practice conversational English with the newcomer.
Wonderful. That's exciting.
The other real advantage is the fact that a lot of newcomers don't have what we call that Canadian experience.
Right.
So they need to understand, how our organizations work, how business works, how we relate in the workplace. So by volunteering for not only us but other organizations that we'll connect them with, that gives them a great opportunity to gather some of those skills for their future employment. Because ultimately, for the most part, that's why they're coming here. They want a better job, they want a better life for themselves and for their families.
Absolutely, and this is a great place to start. How many volunteers are you roughly looking for?
We have roughly 1,500 volunteers with us per year, so we're always recruiting.
You're always looking. Well, this is a great place to start, and I'm assuming they can just go to your website for more information?
Absolutely. We have the website. Certainly they can call our main reception and speak to the receptionist, and she will direct them to Lily. And once they've met with Lily, then really whatever they would like to do, whatever they're interested in, we'll have something for them.
Wonderful.
Particularly for people, and I'll just put a little plug, for people who speak, 2 languages, with obviously one being English, we always have a need for people who can provide those sorts of interpretation skills.
Wonderful.
Because that's you know, that's a key.
Of course,
Absolutely.
you're serving immigrants. That's how it works. Wonderful. Thank you so much, you guys. So when you come back, guys, we have our last segment for Volunteer Week. That's coming up in just a bit.
All right, very good. Thanks, Leah.
Leah Sarich has been exploring various agencies and organizations all week that have volunteer opportunities for National Volunteer Week. Leah?
Absolutely, and our final stop this week is here at the Calgary Catholic Immigration Society, CCIS. We're going to speak with some of the volunteers that actually do some of the work here. Joanne is with me and Bilal. Joanne, tell me a little bit about what you do with CCIS.
Well, when I first came here 16 years ago, I thought I was going to be cataloging a toy lending library on the computer, but there was no library. So support worker and I formed the toy lending library. And I've solicited toys and donations from other people for the library. I've also done cataloging, of course. Now I can do it on the computer since we have one. Helping clients, choose age-appropriate toys for their children. We also have a multi-language library with 24 different languages. So, you try and assist the clients with choosing, appropriate items for their children.
Right. Well, clearly you like it if she's been doing it for 16 years. No kidding. She keeps coming back. Bilal is with me also. Bilal, you just immigrated to Canada, what, a few years ago?
I was immigrant to Canada 3 years ago, and I start first, I was a client with CCIS, and then I start volunteering with CCIS in Alberta Trade Center, and I learn lots of things, and I have lots of experience now. And then I go on to Center for Newcomers, and they transfer to me this CCIS, which is the main office. I transfer, and then I start volunteering with them over about 5 weeks, and then it was enjoyable.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what do you think it is, what do you want volunteers to know about volunteering with CCIS?
Well, you're exposed to a lot of different cultures, and it's just, I have great admiration for these people, uprooting themselves from their homeland because of war or violence or whatever the situation is. And the stories I've heard are very touching, that they would uproot themselves and come to a different culture, which is quite a shock, and the weather, of course.
Of course.
And I don't know.
It's just an amazing place, isn't it?
It is. It really is. I've met so many wonderful people. I have formed friendships. It just makes me feel good.
Wonderful. Well, they're lucky to have you and Bilal, I can tell for sure. Thank you guys both so much for being here. Clearly, lots of opportunities here at CCIS. You can always check out their website through our website. And that is a wrap for Volunteer Week, guys.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Leah. Leah's going to be checking on Village Ice Cream on Monday.
Oh.
Ice cream.
That's a good
In the
assignment.
morning.
They have the best salted caramel.